So I guess I need to wait. Let me just wait a moment. Okay. Hello, and happy Tuesday. And so in this live video today, I'm going to be talking about the one thing that you do need to do before you start looking at coverage. Most people do this the opposite way, and that's why they end up having issues when they go to use their coverage. And so you must do this before you go and start looking for coverage. And so if you are new to my page, to my videos, to any of my content on social media land, my name is Katrice-The, and I am a licensed insurance specialist. And I specialize in health and life insurance. And I help business owners, entrepreneurs, freelancers, self-employed, small business owners, however you classify, whatever you identify with. I help them to navigate through their insurance options, and then they enroll into affordable, comprehensive coverage without breaking the bank. And I am also the founder of INSURE Black America, and that is my community initiative, and it's to close the coverage gap for African Americans. And so today I want to talk about, I hope you guys can see me. It always just seems so dark to me. Okay. Today I want to talk about what you need to do, the one thing that you really need to do before you start looking for health insurance, okay? And so that is, well, let's talk about what most people do. Okay, so most people, when you start looking for health insurance, then you go straight to the website. You know, they might have you fill out a few questions, and then you will immediately go into looking at the cost. And so you look at the cost, and then you look at the plan, and you're like, oh, well, I really don't go to the doctor that much, so you know, this good. And so you choose that plan, and then when you go to use the plan, you're paying a whole lot out of pocket, and you're like, whoa, I gotta meet a deductible. Man, this insurance ain't even good. Right? That's what most people do. I used to do that. So before I learned about insurance, I used to do that. Let's just be real. I used to do that. But, you know, as I learned, and I have to tell y'all a story another day. But as I learned to not do that, to actually do this first, then it saved me more money in the long run. Okay, and so the first thing that you need to do is you need to do a health needs assessment. Okay, and so you're probably like, so what's a health needs assessment? A health needs assessment is where you look at your health needs, right? So, you know, do you go to the doctor a lot? Do you take a lot of medications? You know, have you had any hospital stays recently? You know, you're taking into account all of your health needs that you've had so far up until when you're doing the assessment. Okay? And so then you look at, okay, you know, how much am I paying out of pocket for these services, right? And so, you know, how much is my insurance covering? How much am I paying out of pocket? Okay. And so then you also have to take into account, where do you see your health needs going in the future? Okay. So do you see, you know, you might have to use the coverage a lot more. So you may need to be looking at coverage that will cover more of that out-of-pocket cost for you. And so once you have all that information, and you know what your health needs are, you know what you've spent already on your health needs, okay? And so you kind of can gauge where you think your cost is going to go. Then that's when you go and you start looking at plans, and to see how much of your health needs are covered on those plans and how much is going to be out of pocket to you. Okay? You got to take into account your budget. How much are you looking to spend a month for your coverage? Okay? And so once you have all that information, that's when you go. Now, when you're looking at your budget, right? Because I haven't talked about this much. When you're looking at your budget to purchase your insurance, right? You want to look at not just how much your budget is that you're going to spend monthly for your premium, right? But how much have you allotted for, when it comes to how much you're spending out of pocket with the plan. So if you're currently spending, say, your max out of pocket on your insurance is, say, $3,000, okay? That's your maximum out of pocket for the year, right? And so you're looking at that. You may want to try to find a plan. If the maximum $3,000 is good for you, you know what I'm saying, and it's, it fits within your budget that you've allotted for, then, you may not want to look at any other plan, or you may want to find a plan that, will cover a little more or something, right? So you also want to look at, do you want to lower that, right? Which most people do. So you may want to look for a plan that where your max out of pocket, is $2,500 or, maybe even $1,000, because that they do exist. But you want to take into account not only the monthly premium that you're going to be paying every month, but also the maximum out of pocket that you want to pay. Because the whole purpose of insurance, and it doesn't matter whether it's health or life or auto or whatever insurance it is, the whole purpose of insurance is to save you money, right? So if something catastrophic was to happen, you would not be financially ruined. And so that's the whole purpose of having insurance. And so just all willy-nilly, blindly going, looking at the monthly premium when it comes to purchasing insurance, that's irresponsible. It's very irresponsible. And so then when you have to, pay more out of pocket because you didn't do your due diligence, you can't be upset with anybody but you. And it's not that your insurance is bad, because your insurance isn't bad. There's nothing wrong with the insurance. It just doesn't cover as much out of pocket than you thought. You're having to pay more out of pocket than what you want to. And so, when you're looking for insurance, you have to do your due diligence. You have to figure out what are your health needs, okay? How much you're wanting to spend for the year for your health needs, okay? And then, what are going to be your health needs in the future? And then, plan for that. Okay, then you go and you start looking at the plans and looking at the premiums and such forth. And so I hope you found value in this live video. If you did, please go ahead, share it out with some other business owners who may find value as well. Two things. On Thursday is the I always have to look, I never know. The 19th. Thursday is the 19th. So Thursday, 7 p.m. on the K Daniels Insurance Agency Facebook page. You can go on there. It's going to be live on there, so it's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be at 7 p.m. You can go on there now. Let me know you're coming. Just go hit the going. But yeah, it's going to be sad. And what I'm going to be doing is demystifying health insurance for business owners, okay? And so I'm going to be going through the different types of insurance that are available to business owners. And I'm also going to be breaking up some myths about insurance that people have when it comes to having insurance and purchasing insurance. So you definitely want to jump on if you're a business owner and you do not have health insurance, or you're looking to make some changes to your health insurance, or you just want to know more about health insurance, for future use. Come jump on with me on Thursday at 7 p.m. And then also, if you need health insurance now and you're like, you know what, I know what I want, I know what I need, or I'm ready to work with you, you can go to INSUREBlackAmerica.com and you can schedule your free health needs assessment with me. And where I will sit down with you and I will do just what I talked about in this live. I will go through your health needs. We'll talk about any future needs that may come up, how much you're wanting to spend out of pocket for the year, and then we will go from there. Find you a comprehensive insurance plan that won't break the bank, and go ahead and get you enrolled. So you can go to INSUREBlackAmerica.com to schedule your free health needs assessment with me. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. I was going to say Thursday. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. Take care. God bless. And remember that together we can close the coverage gap for African Americans. Have a great one.